Hi, hello, and welcome back to my Final Fantasy Let's Play. In the last episode, we were introduced to the concept of grand companies officially, and we are going to join one of them. I'm pretty positive I'm going to join the Maelstrom, the Limsa one. I can't believe I looked up the names ahead of this recording so I wouldn't forget them, and then ADHD brain immediately forgot them. But in the last episode, these are going to be kind of brief, series of 3 episodes, one to introduce you to the Adders, one to introduce you to Maelstrom, and then one to introduce you to Ulda's, which I think is the Immortal Flames. So that'll kind of be what this is vibe. I haven't been having the best health time. I have chronic pain and fatigue and a lot of chronic illness issues. It's springtime and I have allergies. It causes a lot of sinus problems, so you'll have to forgive some of these episodes you might notice are a little shorter. Final Fantasy XIV just has a very dense amount of reading. So you'll have to forgive me. I'm so sorry. It's tough sometimes with the low energy. So thank you for being understanding. Just like this cue. So we're going to go to the next one in A Hero in the Making. We're listening to 3 different speeches. We just heard Connie Senna's. So we're gonna go do, I guess, Ulda's next, which is Remembrance Servants at the Royal Promenade, Service at the Royal Promenade in Ulda. Let's go. I can't remember if I unlocked all the Aetherites in Ulda. I guess we'll find out. This is where I spend a lot of my time on my main, warming the Aetherite for hunt stuff. If you don't know what the hunt scene is, it's probably for the best. No. It's really fun. It's a lot. I finally got my tiger mount. Shout out to my partner and my friends for helping me get that, because it was a lot of grinding. And you can see me habitually trying to go to visit another world server in a sorry, those are all hunt instincts. The hustings strip. Okay, I do have the Chamber of Role. Aetherite, hell yeah. Oh, Reyna's so cute. I'm so glad we unlocked Glams finally. Alright, I think this is just gonna be us going in on a little ceremony. Go. Raubahn is so large. And then Nanamo, so tiny.
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore.
Bosom.
Hurrah! Raubahn! Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold.
That's
Where
impressive.
by the grace and glory of Naldar have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ulda!
Okay, I know this is a replay, and I have played the full game all the way up to current Endwalker, and I have referenced some current Alliance raid stuff from Endwalker or the post Endwalker expansion set, but there's a lot of A Realm Reborn that I didn't pick up on. For example, I didn't know anything about the 12. I skipped a lot of that stuff. So here's all this stuff about Naldal, and you are introduced to the gods more in the 12, and I'm kind of debated how many spoilers I wanted to give for further in, but I think it might be fun to kind of talk about it a little bit. Like, if you're watching this, then you know that I've played the game and I'm not completely new to it, so you probably want to talk more about, you know, someone replaying it, having cutscenes skipped a big chunk of it, and now has more context to go back and get a fuller picture. It's kind of what's going on here. So it's kind of neat to see Naldal like this, be like, oh, I've fought Naldal. Like, I know what Thal's balls are, and if you don't, You will someday. You do the alliance race, but it's just kind of cool to be like, you know, the Leonardo gif, you know, pointing at the TV of like, oh, I know that. I know this isn't just confusing to me anymore. Hell yeah. That makes sense at all. Look at our main character syndrome.
On the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard.
Thank you, Alphinaud.
Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Oh, is that why they're the immortal flames?
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Carteneau, none spent more in blood and gold than we.
What an interesting combination.
Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden, and enthralled.
He's so aggressive. Like, the energy of him versus Connie is interesting. Connie was very, not mild, but even in volume, kind of trying her best to look level-headed, whereas Raubah's just very, like, glory, military-esque, like, speech, and I'm just like, okay.
Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death.
I don't really know how to feel about this conceptually, at all. So, okay, basically you're saying because people are having a rough time that it's dishonorable?
Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act.
Okay, so that's the part that makes it not really living. Got it.
Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Ul'dah stands to fall.
So there's some internal Ul'din conflicts there. I remember some stuff happening. I'll be honest with you, I don't remember why any of it happened and kind of just went along with it. So this should be interesting.
Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond.
I hope you don't mean that in like a colonizer-y way. I think more in a trade way, but okay.
Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth.
Kick Garlean ass.
In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you. Line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people. Ya for Ul'dah!
Yay!
Together
good
we are
speech.
one.
Your grace,
Raubahn.
Behold this
People
small...
of Ul'dah, I, Nanimo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you.
I just love that he's got her just like power lifted.
Much has been made of the wealth of Ul'dah. Yet those who measure that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived.
Like he's got her on his arm like she's a fucking bird.
For the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Ul'dah, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanimo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the inferno, for we are
Sorry.
by fire reborn!
Please tell me you all heard the elbow voice that's kind of going, glory for the Sultana. Like, oh my god. Oh, that fully took me out. Oh, sometimes
Forsooth,
dub voice acting is...
I
There's
believe
that Elmo voice is still in there. Hello, Alphinaud. The Uldens have long history of conflict with the Amalja, the beast tribe that worships the primal Ifrit. Ifrit. I still can't do an Alphinaud, I'm sorry. I'm terrible at British accents. Well, British, quote unquote. The stereotypical ye old, I think this is what fantasy worlds sound like for whatever reason, ye typical British accent. Judging by the look of distaste, I take it you have encountered them. Nope, my brain is not doing it. The Uldens do not shy from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So, have they dealt with Ifrit thus far? Smothering his flames each time he is stoked to life. Yet, he is but one of several problems. Though they have been quiet these past 5 years, the Garleans have not gone away. Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves, and Ul'dah has no clear policy on how to deal with them. After all, even in the Sultanate's coffers, not even the Sultanate's coffers are bottomless, and even assuming they had the coin, resources will ever be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It has been observed that the Amalja are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do so, the Uldens send forth their forces to smite the primal, and though they invariably succeed, each victory is bought with blood. It is a war of attrition which they cannot well sustain. Small wonder then that the immortal flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, an adventurer of your experience would be a most welcome addition to their ranks. Yeah, I'm still going Limsa. Alisae hasn't said anything, which is interesting. Okay, well, this was actually quite short. So I guess we can do, we'll split it in two then. So we'll do Limsa as well real fast. And that'll kind of, because we spent a lot of the last episode being introduced by Minfilia at length to the concept of grand companies. So maybe that's what took so much time. So we'll just do the other two in this episode, and that'll, you know, still be relatively brief, but not too brief. Where is this? Oh, it's like right there. Sweet. Oh, right, you have to go up to Merlwyb Bluefishwind's quarters. Was she gonna, like, yell at people from her balcony? That'll be fun. You're to attend the remembrance service? Be quick, the Admiral is due to give her address at any moment. Proceed to the stateroom. Let us hear Admiral Merlwyb Bluefishwind. Ooh, what is on her face?
Matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Not quite a balcony, but a balcony of sorts.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride.
That's a pretty cool color scheme.
"700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground
A long
in this
time.
fertile bay.
Oh, I forgot this doesn't autoplay. I'm just sitting here like, nodding along at Merlwyb's, like, good speech.
In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Sorry,
Did
some
you
of these
look as the
ambient
Admiral bid
sounds.
you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say.
Thank you, Alphinaud. That's great input.
The crimson field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the black longship represents a pirate vessel.
Hey, but that is actually pretty cool.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom standard, and our grand company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthia's bloody
Barracuda.
executioners. And together, we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Carteneau. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Lominsa. I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage. Yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
I thought Raubahn was the most emotional in tone, but no, I think Merlwyb is in her own way. Not in a bad way.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom.
Yeah, his voice makes him sound like a snob.
Much as the beast tribes have. A small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
No, you are just a snob, child. Oh.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishbuck
The Sahagin have risen?
While the mines of Ogomero spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull.
I still like that over time they've changed from this sort of, you know, dehumanizing sort of language for the tribes, and now it's just tribes and not beast tribes, and obviously that took them like a whole decade to get there. Like, I'm glad we shifted away from this.
And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now the Curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck?
This lady, this blonde lady in the front, looks like Minfilia in disguise or something.
There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both. and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the calamity has reopened twixt pirate and Maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men.
That's hardcore. Damn.
To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard, and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves, till sea swallows all.
Oh yeah.
Long live the Admiral!
Merlwyb!
I think
lads!
Merlwyb's was the coolest speech. Sorry.
Where's me cutlass?
Where's me
I'll follow
cutlass?
ye to the 7 hells, Admiral!
Oh, some of the voice actor lines in the background are something else.
Fancy meeting you again.
Thanks, Alphinaud. And here's what he tells me more. Sense and a theme. Also, again, look how cute we look. As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Limsa is plagued by 2 tribes. The first are the Sahagan, worshippers of the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan for their god. As if the tribe's presence weren't troublesome enough, the Garleans have the Garleans got a prim and proper snobby channeling. The Garleans have also chosen to erect a fortress right in the Lamentson's backyard. And that is to say naught of internal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to the blood feuds between the various factions, and while they fight amongst themselves, the Garleans whet their blades and watch. If the Lamentsons are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside, and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. I cannot do posh British, like, snobby Alphinaud accent. To this end, I expect that they will soon take decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom standard will be drenched in a deeper shade of crimson ere long. Wow. That a capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. Thank you for the input. But will you sail with the Admiral? Again, Alisae kind of like, I feel like she's like done with this. There's something about, she just seems irritated. Maybe that's just Alisae though. Hard to tell. Oh? Raina, it is Minfilia. You are well, I hope. Would I be correct in thinking that the final remembrance service has now concluded? A moment ago, you say? What a coincidence! Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guest from the Grand Companies. Well, delighted though we are to have them here at the Waking Sands, it would not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, pray return to the Waking Sands. See, but that I remember, because that you couldn't cutscene skip. Report to Minfilia at the Waking Sands. You're gonna come back here so often. And in this Let's Play, at least, I can just magically edit it to where we're there. But you know, I still have to run there. Because I don't have a mount. Okay, but truly, why wasn't this Aetheryte right next to the Waking Sands, like in Horizon itself? Or wherever this is. I think this is Horizon. No. This is Vesper Bay. It could have just been an Aetheryte in Vesper Bay. Some people let fame swell their heads, but I believe that yours will remain in proportion and firmly attached to your body. Thanks, Tataru. Appreciate it. Pray return to the Waking Sands. Okay. Minphalia. I'm probably gonna stick with Limsa. Probably. Very likely. I mean, I don't hate the colors on the Flame Officer. It comes back to aesthetic, I guess, but I don't know. Is Reyna a blood red type of girl, or like a blue, like a darker blues, the flamey type of girl? What kind of cat girl are you? Her aesthetic actually kind of matches the Flame Officers a little more, which is funny. But also the Arcanist Guild is in Limsa, so, but I think I might be turning her into a scholar at some point, whenever I can do that. So I think that's in Gridania. Okay, we're gonna fast forward like 5 minutes of me angsting about this. Let's just go. Welcome back, Reyna. Were the Grand Company leader's words as illuminating as you had hoped? Aye, each nation is beset with problems. I trust you see now why your services are in such demand. Would that there were more of you, Reyna. But you must be tired from your journey. Why don't you rest a while and take a moment to reflect on your decision? Once your mind is made up, pray give the Grand Company officers your answer. Alright, we did it. You've learned about the Grand Companies and their nation's respective country, cities. Oh.
The gods only know what grand company our adventurer friend will keep.
Wow.
The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Naughty boy.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies, as though the Calamity and Seventh Umbral Era warranted scarcely a mention.
Aw, okay, yeah. I mean, she did seem angry, so that tracks.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None.
That's because they were your personal player character, and there were a bunch of them, so we couldn't possibly make all that canon without pissing off a lot of people, so we didn't.
I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity? No, dear Alisae, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the Calamity behind us.
We must turn past 1.0 and go towards the future of this MMO.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience.
Okay. I kind of forgot about their grandfather, gonna be honest. Also, the little, like...
There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
Okay.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I don't know that these two ever see eye to eye. They are on the same... Their desires are the same, but how Alphinaud executes it... yeah.
I should hope so.
My lady!
We are to escort you!
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister, and will prevail together or not at all.
I mean, that's true.
The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.
What does that mean? I love how I asked, what does that mean? Like, I haven't played. I will give the game credit, like the writing credit. I'm like, I have no memory of this. So I'm like, how is this going to play out? Even though I know the answer to that question. With the power you possess, there will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet however vigilant you are but one woman. In the midst of a grand company, however, you will be one woman amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I think I'm gonna stick with Limsa. It's just the symmetry of where Reyna's at. I feel like because how I'm kind of headcanoning her in my own brain, that's where her Arcanist guild is, that's where she started, that's the people who put her on this path. I feel like she would be more inclined to help the people who helped her first, if that makes sense. So that's sort of my logic. Yeah. How was the Admiral's speech? But you need not explain. That you stand before me now is answer enough. Have you resolved to join the Maelstrom? You have resolved to join the Maelstrom, have you not? Yes. That's the spirit, lass. With allies like you, how much stronger is our crew? Let us brave the seas together, friend. Now the choice is made. It is time to add your name to our rolls. Make your way to Maelstrom Command back in Limsa. Alright. On the upper decks, in case you have forgotten, I will send word to our personnel to expect you. The duties of a Maelstrom soldier can be both arduous. I clicked it on accident. Okay. That's fine. What's great about this is Limsa's already my home aetheryte, so I can just return. And then I'll make this trip a lot easier. Oh my god, I cannot get over how quiet Dynamis is. Just in general. There's the aft castle, there it is. And maybe it also helps that, like, because Maelstrom is my main on Zalera's Grand Company as well, I know where it is. Like, I'm not gonna get lost trying to find it. Hail, adventurer. What business have you at Maelstrom Command? My name is Reina Morel. I believe you are expecting me. I'm trying to decide what, like, I kind of want to give her a similar tone to, like, Barista Vel in my coffee talk let's play. Like, my name is Reina Morel. I believe you are expecting me. Instead of, like, higher, kind of a deeper. I don't know. We'll see. We'll play with it. Reina Morel, I, our recruitment officer, sent word of your coming. It shall be my honor to induct you to the ranks of the Maelstrom. Now, before I can accept your oath, you must be aware of several... Sir... Yeah? We're in the middle of a conversation. What is it, private? And this had better be important. Sir, we've received a report from a lookout in Lower Laodicea, sir. Imperial forces have fired upon a Highwind Skyways airship. The vessel is in a bad way, sir, and appears to be banking for an emergency landing in Cedarwood. Cedarwood? Oh, damn it. We have no troops available in that area. The bulk of our infantry is bogged down on the coast, skirmishing with the Sahagin. Morel, this is highly irregular, but I fear your first duty in service to the Maelstrom must needs be unofficial. If our man in Lower Laodicea is correct, the airship will come down in territory crawling with Imperial scouts. If there are any survivors, we must reach them before the Garleans do. Make haste to Cedarwood, locate the airship, and if any of its occupants are alive, make sure they come to no further harm. We'll see about swearing you in upon your return. Oh. So much for this being a quick episode. I think maybe we will save the airship saving for next episode, we're leaving a little bit of a cliffhanger. What's going to happen with this skyship? Who knows? Tune in next time on Ballsy. No, that doesn't work. Okay, but thank you for watching this episode. Again, I'm sorry if these episodes have been slightly shorter. I'm just really having a rough chronic illness time. I kind of have a lot of low grade sort of sinusitis sickness stuff a lot. And, you know, having chronic issues is rough. So thank you for understanding. I edit all these myself twice a week. You know, it's 2 episodes of various Let's Plays a week. So thank you for supporting me. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the sound of my voice. I hope you enjoy the rain of shenanigans. And if you're watching me rediscover A Realm Reborn for the first time, I hope you're enjoying me going like, oh, that's this thing. Oh, this is what leads to this thing. Like, it's kind of fun to almost discover it again for the first time. I don't know, I'm having fun with it. But yeah, thank you. Like and subscribe, all that fun self-promo stuff. Okay, till next time.